Hey there, my Tyler Perry fans. It's your girl Barbie J here. And you know what time it is? You know what time it is, right? It's Zatima time. That's right. We're talking about Zatima Season 1, Episode 3, Off Limits. And this episode was on fire. It was so good. I am enjoying this. I'm so glad that is moving quickly and that I got to see yet another episode because my Wi-Fi was acting up and I was hysterical in here trying to get it to work. Anyway, so we got Zach here being investigated by Gretchen from the SEC, and she's not liking Zach's answers to her questions. So, she's accusing him of being a liar, which he is. But Zach played it off so well, man. And Gretchen shows Zach a picture of him with Tony, and he's like, so that's just a passenger. Like he was saying, I don't know who she is. I don't know who she is. That's a passenger. And she was like, yeah, but you're talking to her. He's like, you know how many people come through the freaking airport during a day? Like, really? He said, but then it was silly because she goes, yeah, she doesn't look like she's giving you a tip. And he was like, so? She said, well, wouldn't you want to get mad and get even? He said, I'm used to it. Everybody doesn't give me a tip. So I don't know what game she was trying to play to see if Zach would like turn on her or something for a tip. It's a tip, honey. What would it have been? $5, $10? He gonna turn on somebody for that? Not so, Gretchen. So then Gretchen gets up from the table because she's pissed and she a bit frustrated with Zach, and she opens the front door and yells, okay, guys, come on in and arrest him. But Zach is like, look, you got to do what you got to do, whatever, And we look and see no one is there. She was bluffing, and Zach didn't even care. He was like, it ain't the first. It probably won't be the last time I get arrested. So then she tells Zach that no one has ever spoken to her that way. They're usually shitting in their pants. And so Zach says, because there's nothing to hide. But she said, there is something to hide. I just can't prove it. And I'm sitting there going, she's darn right about that. Then she said that she spoke to Tony, but she denied the whole thing. So she has decided to close the investigation. He's like, oh, good. She said, until I get proof. And Zach is like praying, like, thank God, and Gretchen looks at him and he straightens up his face, like a little clown, act like he wasn't praying right then and there. And then she leaves out and Zach falls out on the floor because he was like, oh my God, I can't believe I made it through this, So then Fatima comes home and she gives Zach a dry kiss. And he's like, that's it, baby? Like, really? And she's, I got more for you later. So, she's tired and he gives her foot massage, and he has her slippers waiting for her. And he's just saying, like, like loving and sweet things. And she said, why are you in such a good mood? And he tells her, he changes his face and says, the SEC lady came by today. And she's like, really? And he's like, yep, and I crushed that ish, Zach gave Fatima the breakdown in a very comedic way, and they laughed and laughed and laughed. That's what I like. I like their chemistry. It's like, it's undeniable. They have a wonderful chemistry together. So then we see Heather Lee. Heather Lee shows up with the baby and asks Zach if he wants to see the baby. And he says, I see him. I was like, I hear you, Zach. And so Fatima says she wants to hold him. She said, I'll see him. And she held him, So she walks over to the kitchen with the baby while Zach and Heather talk. And Heather's talking about she not paying for the DNA test because Zach got all this money. And he's like, fine, I'll pay for it. He said that she was like, my private investigator said you own the building next door. And Heather suggests that you might as well let us move in there. And Zach was like, you must be freaking crazy, woman. I was laughing too. And then she said he ain't getting no DNA until she gets that back, child support. And Zach got real annoyed. He said, oh, come on, man. Like, come on. But didn't Zach pay the court that money? Didn't he pay that money for the child support? Just to get out of jail? So what did they do with the money? Who's got that money that Zach paid? Anyway, I'm just saying, y'all put it down in the comment section what you think. And then Fatima comes back over with the baby and tells Heather, don't make me put your head through that wall again. And Zach was like, again? And she said, oh yeah, we had a little talk earlier today. But I thought that was yesterday they had that talk. I didn't think it was that day, because that day she went to see, what's her girl, Belinda, in the morning. So it had to be the day before. But anyway. So I knew something was up when Fatima didn't mind, Heather leaving without discussing that DNA test with her, because we see slick ass Fatima. She took that baby away from them and she snuck a swab in the baby's mouth while they were in the kitchen. I love it. I love it. And of course, Zach is impressed and was trying to pretend as if he knew what Fatima was doing all the time. And then they did their little famous 1, 2, 3 hand slap. Yes, that I love, And Zach mentions, he's going jogging. He's talking about he's going jogging with Bryce and going to fill him in on what happened with the SEC lady. But Fatima makes a face and Zach is like, what? What's that all about? And she says you have to go, jogging with him. And she's like, it's just something about him. I can't put my finger on it. And Zach just kept saying, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Anyway, then we got Zach and Bryce. They have their little bro man moment as they discuss what happened with the SEC and how Bryce has been there for him and stuff. And he don't know what he would do without him and Fatima coming in his life at this time. And then Zach mentions he wants to start flipping houses and he shows Bryce the one he's interested in. But for some reason, Bryce's face changed when Zach mentioned that. And I'm not sure why. Does anybody know why? Have any clue? And then when Bryce said he knows the realtor and said, I think he said, what's her name? I forgot, Valerie or something. I don't know. He said he could put in a word for Zach for the house. Then Zach asked Bryce if Gary was in his office, and he said he wants an office to go with his business so that he will look legit. And I understood that. And then, Bryce's face kind of changed a little bit, but it changed when he said, is Gary there also? So it was like, I'm not understanding what's going on with Bryce right now. I don't even know whether to call him Jake or not, because I saw an interview somewhere, or I read something somewhere, and they're talking about Zatima, but they were calling Bryce Jake the whole time. So, I mean, what is Tyler going to do? Is he going to change Bryce's name to Jake? Or when Sisters come back season 5, is Jake's name going to be Bryce now? I'm just wondering what he's going to do with that, because that's really becoming confusing for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it is for me. So now we have Fatima showing up at the salon to get her wash and press by Gigi, and she runs into Belinda with her boobs popping up out of that animal print top. I said, where the hell is she going looking like that? Did she go to work that way or something? Anyway, but why is Belinda there when I thought she still went to Karen's salon? Didn't she supposed to still go to Karen's salon, she told them? And Belinda knew that Fatima was going to be there for her hair appointment. So I don't know what game she was playing. But anyways, she leaves out and we see that Angela's in the salon as well. And the stylist giggling about her being in there every week, about Fatima being there every week, getting her hair done. Basically, they saying that her new boo is sweating out her perm every week and she had to keep coming back. I was like, that don't sound like a problem. Not to me. And then we hear Belinda was in there running her mouth about Zach and how she was with him before, Fatima, and Cal was telling everything. And I guess he's the nosy one because he was asking about how her man was in bed. And I was like, what? You need to mind your business. And then we have Gigi. She wanting to tell Fatima something, but Angela keeps blocking and stuff and saying, Gigi don't say anything, and telling Fatima it's nothing. She's like, no, Fatima. Fatima's like, what's going on? Angela's like, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. You supposed to be her girl. You should be letting her know. If anything, Angela, you down with it. If you blocking stuff for me, it's like, why are you blocking it? And I know you probably just trying to keep peace, but you should really be letting Fatima know what her girl is saying, what her bestie Belinda is saying. Anyway, then Gigi says Belinda told Cal that she really likes Zach to the point she wants to F him. And Fatima says, nah, that's my girl and she wouldn't do that to me. And Angela's like, right, she wouldn't, but her facial expression doesn't say that. Then while under the hair dryer, Fatima and Angela discussed Belinda and whether they believed what Cal said. And then Fatima asked, where was Belinda going anyway? And Angela's like, I don't know. And Belinda's, Fatima's face was like, you know. Then we have Zach and Bryce checking out Gary's office, and Zach is hoping to one day have a similar office with a view like that. And then Bryce tells him there are other offices in the building with that view for less money. And Zach is like, point me in that direction. But then Bryce said that Valerie would be able to, would know how much everything costs. So Bryce asks how Fatima's doing, and then said that she should be careful because sometimes people say that they're over someone when they're really not. And I said, ooh. And I don't know what Zach looked at him and said, what are you, the freaking, what did he say, woman whisperer or something like that? I was laughing. And then they leave, and Zach gets home and sees a young woman taking pictures of his next door unit, and it turns out to be Valerie, who seemed to be shocked that he was the homeowner. Oh, the shade that she was given. She was a little shady, saying that the home is a bit modern for the area, but then she lets him know that, Bryce did call her, and then she asked to see Zach's home, asking does he want to sell it, and Zach said, no, we just moved in. And of course, Valerie picked up on that and asked if he was married, and Zach said, not yet, showing his hand. So he shares about his desire to flip houses, and she gives him her business card saying that she will put together a list of properties for him. And as she's leaving, Belinda just walks into the freaking house. I'm like sitting there shaking my damn head like, is this heifer crazy or what? She walks into the house. So Zach tells her that Fatima's not there, and she said, I know she's not. She's at the hair salon. So he's telling her to meet Fatima outside in front of the house, and she starts coming at him, and Zach plucked her in the forehead to stop her. I fell out laughing. He was like, plop. I could hear the pluck. But Belinda kept coming, and she was saying, I know your type. You like to F. And he said, not you. And then she opens her blouse, and he said he's going to call Fatima, and Belinda said she's under the dryer and won't answer anyway. She won't hear it to answer. So he tells her to close her blouse, but she doesn't, and asks does he like her breasts and something like that. And Zach doesn't answer and is still yelling, Belinda, stop. Belinda, leave. I'm not playing. Don't follow me up these stairs, up these steps. I will kick you right back down to my sweat. He's yelling all this stuff, and she still ain't listening. She don't even care. And when Zach get up the top of those steps and he runs going towards the bedroom, Fatima's sitting right there with them pin curls up in her head because she left from under that dryer waiting. I know her woman instinct was like, her intuition was like, I need to get my butt home. And she was right on point. And it ended like that. I was like, okay, this is good. This was juicy, and I can't wait to see episode 4. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. And y'all write it down in the comment section. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel, please take this moment right now, hit that little subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and let you know every time Barbie J uploads a new video. And you can keep getting great content like this from me. And then I ask that you like the video, comment on the video, and heck yeah, share the video. Okay? It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.